Yeah, I think we'll keep it cool. Hello and welcome to Big Dash Knows. Big Dash knows what? New York Giants football. Let's go. Clap it up for Joe Shane. Clap it up for Brian Dable. Clap it up for the New York Giants. Moves were made. Moves were absolutely made this week. The reaction is mostly positive. Got a couple of head scratches. Wanted to talk about a few things that happened since the last video. I talked about the Darren Waller signing and what that meant and how that would affect the offense and how that ultimately affects the team and how positive of a pickup that was. So let's go to Thursday. And one of the guys that we picked up was a guy that I talked about before in two prior videos. And that was the acquisition of wide receiver Parris Campbell. And I talked about Parris Campbell being a good guy for the wide receiver room. Not saying that he was a wide receiver one, not at all, but saying when you add a guy with his type of skill set to this team, it makes the wide receiver room better. And we were able to get Parris Campbell signed, 1-year deal, incentive laced, and team friendly in my opinion. Another pickup was a re-signing of Darius Slayton, and for me, that was a head scratcher a little bit because I was thinking that Parris Campbell was the replacement, for Darius Slayton. A guy that has the same speed as Darius Slayton, could even be faster, but is a way better route runner than Darius Slayton. But you can't overlook the familiarity that Darius Slayton has, with Daniel Jones, with the offense. And also, when you looked at his deal, I was shocked. I saw 2 years, $12 million, with the possibility to go up to, I believe it was $16 million. I thought we overpaid. And then we saw contract details today. And basically, this first year is about $4 million. And then if we cut him next year, his guarantee was only about $4 million. So you can get out of that contract. You can get out of that contract pretty easy next year without a big hit. So I think it was a smart deal when now that I've been able to sleep on it. But at first I wasn't with it. I wasn't with Darius Slayton being back on the team. I know it is what it is. I just thought that with everything that's happened, you want more changes. But I do understand why they did it. Health is wealth. Looking at some of the receivers on the team right now that we're depending on, Shepard, Wan'Dale Robinson, Colin Johnson, these guys are all coming off ACLs and Achilles, so you really don't know what you're going to get. So when you sign a guy like Parris Campbell that had his own history of injuries, but last year was his first year of a full season, played all 17 games and had solid numbers. Yeah, solid numbers. Nothing to write home about, but solid numbers. But when you add him to this offense now, and you also have Waller on the team, you have guys that earn the respect of the defense because they know if they put 8 in the box, Darren Waller's going to cause them a problem. With a guy like Parris Campbell, the cornerback has to respect his speed and be able to get open. Last year, you're running around with Sills and guys like that, and Marcus Johnson. Obviously, Richie James ended up being a solid player for us, but there was no threat. I just think about that first Dallas game, and how their cornerbacks never got out of their back pedal. They're staring at the quarterback the whole time. And obviously, if you know where the quarterback is going, it makes your life easier as a cornerback. You don't even respect the guy that you're going against. You could just, you can feel that the person's there, but you're pretty much eyeballing the quarterback. So if he does throw it, you can go ahead and jump the route. So when you add a guy like Parris Campbell, you add a guy like Waller to this offense, and then you figure in that first game we didn't have Hodgins either, I think that it was an improvement. And I think that for what we thought it was going to be this offseason, I thought we spent more than I thought we were going to spend to begin with. I don't know how they're doing these contracts. They're making it work, though. They're working some magic. I also saw today that Darren Waller's contract was restructured, and I thought it was funny. And I kind of thought it was going to happen because first you see his contract with with all the guarantees done this year, and then two more years on the deal, but no guaranteed money. I kind of figured, and a lot of people thought the same way, that they're going to do something to try to lower this cap hit this year, and pretty much give him some guarantee. That way, that give us cap relief and also gives him some stability as far as where he's going to be for the next few seasons. And you see that cap hit is down, and now you still have room to maneuver. Now, the elephant in the room is still going to be Odell Beckham. Everybody saw the tweets. Everybody's putting a tweet out there where he replied to Saquon Barkley, tell Joe to call my agent. I still got things to do, whatever. And to me, I'm over the game. I mean, I love Odell. Y'all know it. Again, he's still up there in the background. I love Odell. I love Odell as a Giant. But at this point in time, it's like either you're going to be a Giant or you're not going to be a Giant. But stop playing around with people's emotions. I understand it's still a business. You still want your money. But to me, it seems like every time things get a little quiet, he puts a tweet out there to make sure that his name is mentioned. But again, if he comes back, fantastic. But right now, I'm prepared for life without Odell Beckham, because it's been how many years now that we didn't have Odell Beckham. But when you're so close to getting him back on the team, I understand why a lot of people feel that way. But outside of that, just thinking about the next moves, what's very important now is still trying to solidify this offensive line. And I'm looking at not the corner market, which, let me go back. I think with all the moves that were made this week, I think absolutely this draft, early rounds, I'm thinking if one of those top 4 corners are there, you go ahead and get you a corner. We need that on this team. We need a man press corner, big corner, pause, something that Wink likes, in the stature that Wink likes. And like for me, the perfect situation is Joey Porter falling. If Joey Porter falls, that's a no-brainer. Deonte Banks is the next guy after that I believe is reachable. And then you also have Cam Smith, who's a quality guy, and I believe out of everybody, he's the most likely to be there at 25. So, I mean, I think cornerback. But just getting back to what I was saying, I'm looking at the free agent market. We still need to solidify this offensive line. I do believe that we do try to get a center in free agency. There's only a few of them left out there that have some good experience. I know Ben Jones is one. Connor McGovern is the other one from the Jets. And it's like we're adding weapons, We're adding to the offense, but nothing really matters if the offensive line is not doing what it needs to do. And that's the glaring hole that's left for me. I mean, outside of some holes on the defensive side, the offensive line is the biggest hole on the New York Giants, in my opinion, right now. And again, we could address that, in the draft, but there's still a couple quality centers out there that you would like to get in the building. I know Feliciano is still an option. We'll see what happens with that. I was mad that we lost Gates to the Commanders. So Feliciano, to me, if we pick him up, I'm indifferent about it. I understand why they would do it, but I'm thinking about, some other people out there that can probably do a better job than Feliciano. Now, the thing for Feliciano is he already knows the offense. He's familiar with the team. He's already been snapping to Daniel Jones. So all that stuff is cool. But I also think about a guy that's on the squad already, like Ben Bredesen, who, when he did play center a very little bit, he looked pretty good while he was doing it. So it's all about who Joe Shane is comfortable with, who the coaches are comfortable with, the money, of course, and then if they really believe they're going to be in position to get, one of those centers. And to me, it's still John Michael Schmitz. Number 1 is Luke Whippler, however you want to say. I never heard him say his own name, so it's a Whippler, whatever. Olawatimi from Michigan. Cody March is another one that can play, all the way down the line, all across the line. And then Steve Avila can also play center, but he's projected to be an even better guard. So there's some options out there, but I still think you need a veteran center to get in here, and hopefully that happens soon. Again, a lot of the moves that we've seen have been heavy offensive. We got the one linebacker that got signed. We got the backup D tackle. I was looking to see a cornerback. I was upset to see that the Philadelphia Eagles, somehow Greedy Williams was on the market. I didn't even know it, and they picked up Greedy Williams, but I'm assuming they're doing that because they know they're going to lose Gardner Johnson, so they do need a replacement there. So for me, I'm excited. Free agency is still in the mix. A lot of shoes still need to fall, and we can get back to it. we can get back to it. But hopefully soon we'll get get some news about possibly Odell, permanent news. Either another team grabs him or we're able to get him offensive line help. And then I still think a possible veteran corner to be added too would be a nice move to make as well. But again, I want to thank you guys for vibing with me. Wanted to do a quick video about Parris Campbell. Didn't talk too much about him, just in the early bits. I think the potential for Parris Campbell, if he stays healthy, he can be a great addition to this team. If nobody else tells you that, I'm going to tell you that. Shout out to Nick Filato. He was one of the guys too that talked about Parris Campbell early. We talked about it, months ago. Months ago, Parris Campbell came up as an option way when we had those T. Higgins rumors and trying to trade for T. Higgins and Brandon Ayuk. I was trying to tell people, like, calm down, the money that these guys will cost. And then I gave some, realistic options. DJ Chark was another one, but I believe he already got picked up too. But yeah, I'm happy with the Parris Campbell signing. It's a one-year deal. I think that, if he plays well, possibly be an extension, but I think he helps out everybody else. He helps the wide receiver room. He helps these guys get better because he brings an element to the game that we've been missing, an element to the offense that we've been missing, and the defense has to respect that. So it's a new day for the New York Giants, man. Again, clap it up for Joe Schoen. The man is having a just under fantastic free agency period. Shout out to Brandon Brown too, and all the rest of the guys that make that thing work, in the facility. But I want to thank you guys for vibing with me. Please like, comment, and subscribe. And from one Giants fan to another, this is Big Dash Knows, Big Blue Nation. Let's go.